Next, we're going to move to the Mayor's report. Here's the good news. It's going to be very brief because for the period of September 9th to September 23rd, 2013, I was in Thompson for September 23rd. So, first off, I have to thank all other members of council for picking up the slack in a very busy period of time. I know there were a number of community events that took place, and I'm going to provide an opportunity for some members of council to highlight those. But there's a couple things. First, I'm going to ask Deputy Mayor Hogan just to update council and the public on the discussion that took place with Premier Selinger, who was in the community during the period. I did have a chance to speak briefly with the Premier's office, and he was available to meet with myself. Unfortunately, I wasn't available, and I had asked Deputy Mayor Hogan as well as Councillor Fensky, Chair of Public Safety, to sit on that meeting, and we did have a chance to communicate before the meeting. So, Deputy Mayor Hogan, if you could just provide a brief update.
Thank you, Mayor Johnson. Premier Selinger was in the community on September 12th, and as indicated, I met with him along with City Manager Gary Septelli and Councillor Fensky. We did have intentions to keep the agenda very focused on public safety in the community. However, we got off on a number of tangents and did have the opportunity to discuss our entire legislative agenda. So it was a very good and comprehensive meeting. We did focus particularly on Main Street North, and Councillor Fensky provided information on that to the Premier, seeking support from the province. We did have the Premier reaffirm his commitment to a cadet program in the City of Thompson within this mandate of the provincial government. So I think that that's something that we need to continue to pressure and seek them to follow through on. The Premier also did express or reaffirm his support for valet in terms of sustainable operations within our community, and so that was a positive message to hear. He was also here for a number of education and training announcements, and we affirmed that education and training is actually one of the action plans that came out of the TEDWIG process, and as I previously indicated, I provided him a copy of the summary plans so that his government would be able to utilize that document in terms of developing a northern strategy or strategies for northern Manitoba. We also discussed housing, particularly some proposals coming forward in terms of seniors housing and also Project Northern Doorways, seeking for the province to support those initiatives and expressing a continued need for those housing projects. Finally, we also discussed a range of items related to quality of life, particularly Paint Lake, and our conversations with the Conservation Department in terms of extending the season, to which the Premier indicated that if we can provide the business case, that they are open to having those discussions. And so we are going to task administration to pulling that together. We're confident that with the number of people that utilize Paint Lake and the length of our fall season, that we can easily come together with that business case. And we also talked about the negotiations with the LGD and just making a commitment to continue those. And finally, actually on the way out the door, we flagged the Premier for one more discussion item in regards to our municipal services agreements with NCN and OCN, and how we've been in discussions with the feds on moving those towards finalization, to which he recommended we contact his government to lend support in finalizing those discussions. And so it was a very fruitful meeting, and we look forward to some follow through on a couple of the items that were raised.
Appreciate you taking the time, and I think it's important anytime you have a visitor such as the Premier that we need to have an opportunity to sit down. There wasn't enough time to organize a full-scale meeting in his schedule or in terms of when we were advised the meeting would take place, so I thought it was important, and I thank you for your representation. I think there's going to be a real need. We need to capture some of those items on the Legend Intergovernmental Affairs Committee agenda so that we don't lose them, and we follow up. I think that there's also an opportunity to engage some other organizations to assist administration in some of that work. Just to move on with my report then, I can advise that today I did take the opportunity to meet with the Thompson Unlimited Executive Committee and Chairperson President Rick Oberdorfer. This is a follow-up to the discussion at the last meeting where I advised Council that I would be taking the opportunity to meet to discuss the correspondence that was received by the City of Thompson at the last meeting. I can tell you, following our conversation, I was pleased to have the opportunity to have a full briefing on the process that took place leading up to that correspondence being forwarded to the City of Thompson. And I'm absolutely confident in the President and in the organization that the comments reflected in that letter were comments received verbatim from the public and did not represent the views or opinions of the President or the Board of Thompson Unlimited. I'm further extremely confident that during our conversation, and I was joined by City Manager Sepatelli as well, we reaffirmed the work that was done through the TEDWG process to formulate the mandate for Thompson Unlimited to move forward. And I'm confident that the board also shares the same approach and understanding of the mandate. I also want to just focus that the need is to move forward and to work on the process and the strength. And we all talked about TEDWG earlier on and the stakeholders. And I can tell you that throughout the TEDWG process, we concentrated on the documents of the city, the strategic plan, the Aboriginal Accord, and the Master Parks Plan. And those documents and the goals and the principles are shared by the Board of Thompson Unlimited. So, I understand there's been a fair bit of discussion. I haven't had the opportunity to follow it any on the blogs. I ask people to remain confident in the vision that this council has spent the last number of years to develop and the relationships that have been the result. Extremely positive relationships. I have indicated that I will be communicating to all the TEDWG stakeholders to reaffirm the position of the City of Thompson and my confidence in Thompson Unlimited, that we will continue to base our actions on those documents. And I'm absolutely confident that we will be able to do that. All too often, we are so quick to react and to think of the negative. And I'm always reminded, one negative step takes so many positive ones to replace. And we've had so many positive things working. And we'll continue to do that. And I'm confident in President Oberdorfer and the board that we will work together to do that. Notwithstanding that, what this whole discussion has taught me again is that we can never, ever let up in our absolute pursuit of addressing the systemic racism that still exists in this community. And my expectation is that every member of this council and every organization that we fund will adhere to those founding documents and the vision and the policy of this council. And I'm confident that the community will follow. I know we are a tolerant, compassionate community that cares about people, and we've demonstrated that and will continue to do that. But it's council that will deal with the politics of the discussion. Thompson Unlimited will deal with the economic development opportunities as outlined in their mandate and the work through TEDWG. So, I wanted to provide an update. I was very pleased that the executive took the time to meet with me on my first day back. Mr. Oberdorfer will be responding personally to the community. And again, I want to reiterate my complete confidence in moving forward in our relationship as a City of Thompson with Thompson Unlimited and the stakeholders in the TEDWG process, because that has been the most positive things that we've seen come out of the process over the last 2 years, is the establishment of those relationships and the common vision and commitment to that vision that we all share. So, I just wanted to provide that update. Let's move on and implement the positive aspects coming out of that process. A couple other things before I go to members of council. It's a very busy time of the year. I know a number of events took place. There's still some coming up. I just want to note that the Thompson YWCA will be holding their 41st annual general meeting on September 26, 12 noon. I also want to note that this Saturday, the Thompson Community Foundation will be holding their fall gala. I encourage members of the public to get out, participate in these events, play a role in the community. And the most important event that I encourage people to come out and support is Speak Up Thompson. Once again, this council has made a commitment to going to the public in the neighborhoods and meeting with the community residents. Not to tell you what we're doing, but to listen to what people want to say and see done in the community. So I can tell you that the neighborhood meetings this year will be held on October 9th at Juniper School and October 30th at Deerwood School from 7 to 9 p.m., encouraging all members of the public to come out. We want to listen to you, hear your comments. If you can't make it, there are cards available, can be picked up at a variety of locations that ask you, please share your comments. The Legend Intergovernmental Affairs takes all the information received. We provide that to members of council as we go into the budget process. So I encourage people maybe to take a few minutes away from Facebook and actually attend a meeting and share their comments. It'd be nice to see some of their faces and hear from them. So encourage people to come out to those two events. That's all I have. I'd open it up to any members of council that might have attended events. Councillor Fensky.
Thank you, Mayor Johnson. This past Saturday, I participated and attended the YWCA Walk a Mile in Her Shoes program. There were 47 men walking in red shoes, plus I must bring attention again to the Norman North Stars, young men in this community, 15, 16, 17-year-olds, who again for the, I believe the 5th year, ever since it's started, have walked the Walk a Mile in Her Shoes. So these are young men in our community that are future leaders in our community and are recognizing the work, the good work that the YWCA does in programming in dealing with violence against women in our community. So I want to congratulate the Y in their program and everybody that supported it, and they raised over $11,000. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Byer.
Had the privilege and honor to bring greetings and appreciation to the Thompson Women's Crisis Center at their AGM, and along with Councillor Fensky attended the Thompson Chamber of Commerce Northern Business Week dinner, at which Dr. Ernesto Ciroli was the guest speaker, talking about entrepreneurship and I can't say it, facilitative entrepreneurship. Anyways, very interesting conversation, and it would be nice to see more entrepreneurs take an active role in the city of Thompson.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Hogan.
Thank you, Mayor Johnson. On September 15th, I brought greetings to the Terry Fox Run that was held in the city of Thompson. And the Norman North Stars were also at that community event in a full jersey, so it was great to see them out. There were a total of 85 participants that took in the run, and they were able to raise over $2,700 for the Terry Fox Run event. And I would like to just express my thanks to Terry Williams for her efforts in coordinating the run in the city of Thompson. It's something that she's obviously passionate about, and looks to make sure that residents in Thompson have the opportunity to participate in. So thank you to Tracy for that. On September 17th, I brought greetings to the grand opening of the new Chamber of Commerce office in the City Center Mall. And so I just wanted to congratulate the Chamber and President Oswald Saw in the opening of that to kick off their Northern Business Week last week.
Excellent, thank you. Any further comments from members of council who may have attended an event? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.